Hello everybody, my name is Albert. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, it will be the first, hopefully first of a few videos series I'm going to be making, and the goal of these videos will be to help explain to you, in case you're mildly interested in selling puts, for someone to go from, hey, I'm just kind of curious of what this is, to actually understanding enough of it to maybe dabble a little bit more into it. And I'll be explaining this information to you like you're my friend. Hopefully a lot of my friends do watch this, because then I don't have to explain to them in person. And once again, I'm a beginner. I've been only doing this for about 6 months, so this will be like a beginner's guide for beginners. And in this video, I'm gonna walk through kind of why I think selling puts is a good investment strategy and like why I'm doing it. Okay. So before we get started, there's gonna be I made I guess a table of contents, if you will. Not everything's gonna be covered in this video, but I think these are some of the basics information that I should go over with you in case you're interested in learning more about it. And what this will be is it'll be basic definitions of what options are, basically what are calls, what are puts, what I think the benefits and downsides are to selling puts. I'm gonna go over some basic terms that you should know if you're looking into selling puts. I'm gonna talk a little bit about margin and how to use it and how it works. A couple other terms I think might be relevant will be intrinsic and extrinsic value, implied volatility, and then there's also these Greeks, which are just numbers that people use to measure puts, I guess. So I'll cover all that in either this video or a series of videos coming after this. I'm going to try to keep it real short for you, so you won't get bored. Okay, so options. What are options? Number one, here's a definition for Investopedia. I'll read it out loud. So options are financial derivatives that give buyers a right, but not the obligation to buy or sell an underlying asset at an agreed upon price and date. So what that means is if you're buying an option, you're paying a premium to buy the option to make someone buy or sell shares to you at a certain price that's agreed upon by a certain date. Okay, so there's two types of options. There's call options and there's put options. Before we get into that, I want to cover just some information, general information that's helpful. Is when there's a transaction of options, there's obviously a buyer and a seller, right? So when you buy the option, the buyer is paying a premium to the seller, and the buyer decide if they want to exercise. Okay, and because of this, buyers have limited downside, because the most they can lose is that premium they pay to the seller, right? Because if the trade doesn't go in their favor, they say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna forget it, you keep it, I'm not gonna exercise, right? The flip side is true for the seller, right? You have limited upside because all you can make is that premium you collected, but unlimited downside. So if the trade doesn't go in your favor and the buyer exercises, then you will lose a quote-unquote unlimited amount of money. Obviously, it could be limited because the stock price only goes to zero, but that's beside the point. So keep this in mind. Buyers pay the premium, but they also decide when to exercise. Okay. So what is the two types of options? One is call option, right? That's when you pay a premium to buy 100 shares of a certain price. Okay, buy, right? And then the opposite is put option, which is what we're selling. Is if you're buying this option, you're agreeing to sell a certain number of shares by a certain price. So it's confusing because there's a put and a call option, but there's also buyers and sellers. So here's a little chart I made. So when you're buying a call option, you want the underlying price to go up. Okay, so you want the stock price to go up. When you're on the other side of that trade, when you're selling a call option, you actually want it to go down. Okay, and then if you're buying a put option, you want that price to go down. And when you're selling a put option, which is what we're doing, we're gonna focus here, is you want the price to go up. Okay. So focus around selling puts. What I'm doing is I am selling a put. So I'm saying, hey, you pay me a premium. I agree to buy 100 shares of this stock from you by a certain date. So they have to sell it to me, right? So they have to sell it to me. They have the option to sell it to me. Okay. So they will pay me a premium. I collect that money up front, and then if shit hits the fan, I have to buy these stocks from them at a certain price, right? If the stock price stays the same or it goes up, then I don't have to do anything. I make the money. So the profit graph of selling a put looks like this, right? There's a strike price. There's going to be a premium that you get paid. So let me orient you. This is profit and loss, right? So everything above on the y-axis is you make money. Everything below is you lose money. And then the x-axis is going to be a stock price. So the higher the stock price goes, the more right you go, okay? So you can see here, as the stock price reaches infinity or it reaches a high number, I'm still making the same amount of money, which is the premium that was paid up front, right? As the stock price dips below my strike price, I start losing money. And the reason is because I have to buy this stock from you, even though the price is worth less. So at some point below the strike price, you're gonna start losing money, right? And there's obviously a little gap here between strike price and you have a little bit of like a grace period, I guess. and that's going to be because the premium that you got paid covers for the loss that you lost, right? So they actually got more premium than what you lost. So that's it. You're basically selling puts at a hopefully a higher probability that it finishing out of the money, and you know, you collect that premium. Okay. All right. So this concludes the first part of my multi-part video. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe to see the part 2.